What is up, YouTube? Welcome to Panfro Games, and in today's video we're going over the entire new Pokemon Dex for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and we are currently 74 days away from the release of both of these games, and I'm so incredibly excited. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video, I really appreciate it. Now, looking at a general overview of the Dex here, we're looking at 109 Pokemon, which makes the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Pokedex the fourth biggest one, which is actually pretty good because the last few gens have been relatively small with sub 100 Dex amounts. There's also 80 new Pokemon and 4 regional fakes, 5 cross-gen evolutions, 14 paradox forms, with 7 being ancient, 7 being future, and then an additional 2 being DLC, and then 4 regional forms. And right now, I would say I'm pretty happy with what we have considering all the things that have leaked. Of course, officially, we have only seen 13 Pokemon, and with 74 days away from the official launch, I really hope we get to see a lot more of these soon because some of these Pokemon seem absolutely fantastic. So, of course, not every single type is confirmed on this list, but we do know the entire Dex. So we at the very least have a general idea of most of the typings, how many stages the Pokemon are going to be. Starting off our Gen 9 list, we have the starter Pokemon Sprigarito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley. And we already know that their final forms is going to be Grass Dark, Fighting Ghost, and Water Fighting. So we've actually seen sort of what Sprigarito and Quaxley's final form will look like. Quaxley's going to be a fighting like dancer. Sprigarito is going to be more like a jester, magician, and apparently Fuecoco is going to be a singer, but we actually haven't seen any leaked images on the Fuecoco. So this is sort of the biggest question, especially as a huge Fuecoco fan of myself. I really want to know what this guy is going to end up looking like. So we know Lechonk is going to be a pure normal type, and it's probably going to keep that pure normal typing. There is not any speculation on it actually gaining a secondary typing. But we do know that the male and female versions of Lechonk will have a different form to each of them. We don't know if that's going to change the stats per se, but they will have a different design perspective. We also learned that Pawmi will be an electric fighting type in its last form, and the fighting typing is so OP. Electric fighting is such a good typing. He's also going to have a signature move where he's able to revive one of the Pokemon on your team back to 1 HP, which is going to be sort of insane. So this is going to be something that we got to watch out in competitive Pokemon. Then the Smoliv line is going to be grass and normal, going to be 3 stages, which is going to be pretty cool. We haven't seen a lot of grass and normal type Pokemon. And then next up, we have the triple dogs. We got Fido, a ghost dog, and a dark dog. So all these dogs are going to be monotype and evolve 1. So we know Fido is going to have an evolution. Ghost dog will evolve, and dark dog will evolve as well. We don't know anything about the ghost or dark dogs, but hopefully we'll see them in an official trailer soon. There is a new spider that evolves as well, and it's pure bug, which I do think is very disappointing. I bring it up every time, but really, pure bug types Pokemon is super lame, and it deserves more as a spider. There's a lot more you can do with it. There's also a Scarab Beetle, which is a bug type that evolves into a bug and psychic type, which is really interesting because you would think it would be a bug ground, but no, we're going with a bug psychic again, similar to how we got Orbeetle in Gen 8. And then we have our very first bug and dark type, which is a Grasshopper, and it's become a Common Rider type of Pokemon, which is going to be super exciting because Common Rider is just such a sick design, and honestly, it sort of gives me like a Scizor type of vibe too, so I'm all about it. Next, we have our regional bird, which is a seagull that's going to evolve once, and it's going to be a flying and electric type, which is really phenomenal. Great typing. I'm super excited for this, honestly, and I can see this being on my team just because of the typing is really cool. We also have a couple of single stage bird Pokemon. We have a Parakeet, which is going to be normal and flying, which seems to sort of be like a Chatot fill-in. And then we have a fighting and flying flamingo Pokemon too, which I think is going to be really cool. Really reminds me of Hawlucha. We also have an ostrich Pokemon that evolves once that is a pure psychic, and apparently it looks like Cleopatra. So I'm super excited for these Egyptian vibes. And then we have Titan, which is officially announced, and then it has a pre-evolved form, Both of them are going to be pure ice. And then we have a dolphin Pokemon, which is going to be pure water and evolves once. However, it's going to have two different forms. There is a secret to the forms, but we do know that one of the forms will be more dolphin like, and the other form is going to be a dolphin that's going to walk on land and be more like a superhero. And that's going to be really interesting how that's going to be implemented. I wonder if it's going to be based on the certain moves that the Pokemon is. And I wonder what the ability is going to be for the dolphin. Maybe the ability will be something with the form changing too. So there's a lot that we can go into it, but this is definitely a very particular, interesting Pokemon we got to pay attention for. And then we got the frog, which we think is going to be a electric and psychic. We know it's going to be electric, but we do not know about the psychic typing, but we know it's going to evolve once. And then there's the hawkfish, which we know is going to be a water type. It could have a secondary typing. We're unsure. We did see a leaked image of the face though, so we know it's like sort of a menacing fish, and the image here is actually sort of correct to what we saw from the leaked image. And then there is a very interesting fairy and steel type 3-stage Pokemon. This Pokemon is going to be crazy. We know that it has a big hammer, and it's going to be phenomenal because fairy and steel is the best combination in the entire game. I mean, that's Zacian typing, so better watch out VGC, because this thing is going to be taking over the entire scene. And then there is a coin Pokemon that is very similar to Spiritomb, and we're going to be having to find all these different coins across the entire map. And once we find all the coins, we'll be able to access his evolution. We are thinking that it's going to be a ghost type that evolves into a ghost steel type, but we're going to have to wait and see. And it's apparently going to be something we're going to have to wait till the late game to get, or maybe even the post game, because you really got to do a massive collectathon, similar to how we did it in Pokemon Legends Arceus, getting all the wisps for Spiritomb. Now for our very first fire and grass Pokemon, which is a pepper, and I am so excited for this. Fire and grass is a phenomenal typing. It's going to probably make it on my team just because of the typing, and I'm just really excited to use it. We do know that it's going to be based off some sort of hot pepper, but that's pretty much it for now. I really hope the design nails it, because this is a first for Pokemon, and I really want them to keep up with the fire and grass type combo. Then we have a couple of version exclusives with the Fire Warrior and the Fire Blade Pokemon. The Fire Warrior is going to be in Pokemon Scarlet, and it's probably going to be fire and fighting. And the Fire Blade is going to be Pokemon Violet. That's probably going to be fire and steel. And they're both going to evolve from some fire Pokemon, and it's going to be evolving based on some sort of item and prerequisite for taking out particular Pokemon, which is going to be really interesting. There's a Crystal Flower Pokemon, which you saw leaked way back in the day, and this Crystal Flower is going to be a rock and poison type, which you've only seen in one other Pokemon, so I am glad to see this back on a non-legendary / Ultra Beast type of Pokemon. Then there is a pure rock salt Pokemon, which is going to be pure rock, so that's pretty cool. I do like pure rock as a type, and I hope the Pokemon ends up being good, and I really want to see the design on this thing. Then we have our very first poison and steel type, which I'm so excited for, because this is a really good typing overall. Yeah, you're 4 times weak to ground, but overall it's a really cool design. It's based on a engine, like a car engine, so I'm excited to see how this is, and I think it's going to be particularly a good Pokemon. And then we have the Tumbleweed Pokemon, which is now confirmed to be a grass and ghost type, and we've gotten a lot of grass and ghost types recently in the past few gens, since Gen 6 with Trevenant, but it is a really cool typing, and it's something I like to see, and ghost types are really unique overall, so the more ghost types the better in my book. And then we got Giraffe which we have confirmed in the recent Pokemon trailer, and we do know it's going to have a new pre-evolution, and both of them are going to be poison and normal. And poison and normal, if you didn't know, is a brand new type combination, which is awesome. Then there is a mouse couple that evolves into a mouse family that apparently has a parental bond as their ability. So we got to watch out for this Pokemon, because it could be phenomenal. We know it's normal type, but we don't know if it's going to have a secondary typing. Personally, I think it's going to be a pure normal type Pokemon. And then we have our boss Pokemon. So there's a couple of alpha boss Pokemon we'll be fighting throughout the story. And there's a pure rock crab. So far, a pure steel earthworm, which could be steel in the ground potentially, but we know it's not going to be a bug type. There is a crane, which is flying in something else, and there's a sushi fish, which is dragon in water, and I'm really excited to see what the sushi fish actually looks like. And there is a sushi master, because in the boss fight against the sushi fish, there will be a sushi master as a pure water type to help in the double battle against you. Now we have our regional fakes, which is going to be Diglett and Dugtrio, which are going to be pure water. They're going to look like Diglett and Dugtrio, but they're not going to be like them at all. They're going to be like a pink eel. And then we have regional fake Tentacool and Tentacruel, which is going to be a grass type. And apparently it's going to look more like a grass jelly mushroom type of thing. And people are saying it's going to be grass and ground. So we're going to have to wait and see on that. But I think it's going to be really cool. And I'm excited to see them officially in game. Now, our new pseudo-legendary line is going to be this Ice Dragon, which is really cool. 600 BST, so this thing's going to be a beast no matter what happens. Offensively, it's going to be a monster. Defensively, it's going to be a glass cannon, but that's okay because, you know, I am excited to see what this thing could possibly look like. Seems like it's probably going to be something like a frozen dragon, like a frozen dinosaur lost to time, and we're going to have to, like, revive it. So that's the type of vibe we're getting from the leaked design that we heard of. And then we got some cross evolution Pokemon. We got the Mankey line getting a new evolution into a Primeape evolution, which is going to be fighting in Ghost. Bisharp gets an evolution, which is going to be Dark and Steel as well, which is going to be really cool because Bisharp's going to be able to use Eviolite now. Dunsparce gets an evolution, my favorite Pokemon. Apparently, can be pure normal. And then Giraffers gets an evolution, which is going to be normal and psychic. And this is actually a legit leaked image of it. Someone drew off of the leaked image of the Pokemon. So I am really excited with the design of this thing. Then we already knew that about Paldean and Wooper getting a new form, right? But it has an evolution, which is not Quagsire. It's going to be a brand new Pokemon. And we are assuming it's going to be Poison and Ground. Then there is Paldean and Tauros. There's 3 new Tauros. You know, one is fighting fire, and one is fighting water. And normal Tauros is also in the game too. And then we got the Paradox Pokemon. So these are what the current confirmed types. No speculation on these types right here. I will be updating my speculation chart for a future video just to give you the most up-to-date information on it. But we do know that Amoonguss is going to be grass. Jigglypuff is going to be fairy. Mischievous is going to be Ghost Fairy. Volcarona is going to be Bug Fighting. Salamence is going to be at least Dragon and something else. Donphan is going to be fighting in ground. We don't know what Magneton is, and we don't know what Suicune is, and those are all for Pokemon Scarlet. And then the Pokemon Violet exclusives is Delibird, which is apparently going to be water and ice. Gallade is going to be psychic and fighting. Hariyama, we know, is going to be fighting and something else. Volcarona in the future is going to be fire and poison. Tyranitar, we don't know what the type is going to be yet. Donphan is going to be electric and ground. Hydreigon is going to be dark and flying, and we do not know what the Virizion is. The Virizion and Suicune are going to be DLC Pokemon, so we're not going to really worry about them now. And now for the last but not least, the legendary Pokemon. There is the new Dark Quatret, which is a UU fish, which will be fire and dark. A deer, which is going to be ground and dark. A leopard, which is going to be ice and dark. And a snail, which is going to be grass and dark. And then Cyclizar, Koraidon, and Miraidon. We already know their typings. And that is all 109 Pokemon coming to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Honestly, at the end of the day, I think this is going to be a phenomenal Pokedex for Gen 9. There's a lot of different Pokemon, 109. We got a lot of brand new type combinations. The idea of Paradox and regional fakes is really cool to me. So I really hope they do a slam dunk on that. The new cross-gen evolutions are really good. They picked a lot of great choices. And I am a fan of the new regional forms for Wooper and Tauros as well. And honestly, at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a fantastic game. So I hope you guys in the comment section enjoy this game too. We are 74 days away, so I cannot wait. I really hope we get some more trailers soon and definitely more leaks. And of course, I'll be covering them as well. But definitely let me know in the comment section below what Pokemon you are most anticipated looking for right now. I mean, right now, I really want to say the Pseudo-legendary to Ice and Dragon, but I also really want to see the Dunsparce evolution. Because yeah, it's going to be pure normal, but it could actually be a completely OP Pokemon. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, and have a great one.